Hello and welcome to another video. I am coming to you from Sydney, Australia today, so that's why my background is a little different and my camera angle is a little different, so please bear with me. Today I will be sharing with you a short sequence that you can do if you've been traveling. So if you've been sitting on a plane, on a train, or in a car, whatever, for long periods of time, you can do this sequence to help you stretch yourself out and make you feel better. So just begin in a wide-legged child's pose by touching your big toes together behind you, separating your knees a little wider than normal, and then relaxing over in a child's pose by stretching your arms out in front of you and bringing your forehead on the ground. Close your eyes for a moment and begin to deepen your breath, breathing deeply through your nose, allowing your chest to sink towards the ground. Slowly make your way up onto your hands and knees, knees under your hips and hands right under your shoulders. Back is flat. On your next inhale, come into your cow pose, arching your back, looking up and forward. And on an exhale, look back towards your thighs and reach your upper back all the way up for cat pose. Inhale, come back into your cow, spread your shoulders wide, looking up. Exhale, come into your cat, look behind you, and curve that spine. Continue to move on your own breath. With each inhale, find your cow pose, and with each exhale, find your cat, really stretching out that spine, working through each and every bone in your spine as you arch and curve. If you'd like to add a little bit of swaying and movement into your cat and cow, you can do so. And just continue moving through cat and cow and breathing deeply. And make your way back to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes and send your hips up and back into downward facing dog. In your first down dog, pedal through your legs. Alternate bending and straightening your legs and gently warming up the muscles in the backs of those legs. Also take a moment to wiggle into your hips, twisting gently from side to side, stretching out the outer hips and also working into those hip sockets. Come to stillness in your downward facing dog and take a deep breath. On your next inhale, raise your right leg up behind you and then step it forward in between your hands. Knee is directly above your ankle on the right side. Drop your left knee down onto the ground and hold here for a hip stretch in the front of your left hip. This is particularly good if you've been sitting for long periods of time and crunching that front hip muscle. This is just a way to alleviate that and stretch it out. Now you can stay here as usual with your hands framing your front foot, or as I'm doing here, you can bring your hands in the center line of your body, walk your right foot out to the right. You can stay up on your hands here or drop down onto your forearms to get an even deeper hip stretch. Do whatever is right for you today, and wherever you choose to be, just breathe deeply into the stretch. Come back up onto your hands if you are on your forearms. Bring your hands to frame your right foot once again. Tuck your left toe and then press into the ground with your hands and your foot, stepping back into downward facing dog. Breathe deeply for a moment before you come into the other side. On your next inhale, raise your left leg all the way up behind you and step it forward into low lunge on the left side, dropping your right knee down behind you and untucking your toe. Just as you did on the other side, you have the option of remaining with your hands framing your left foot or bringing your hands in the center line of your body, walking your left foot out to the left, staying up on your hands there, or dropping down onto your forearms and getting an even deeper hip stretch there. Wherever you choose to be today in this low lunge, just take a breath, breathing deeply in through your nose and out through your nose, and rest here for a moment. Make your way back up onto your hands, tuck your right toe, and step back into downward facing dog. Breathe deeply and hold your down dog here. On your next inhale, raise your right leg all the way up behind you and then turn that leg out from your hip. Bend your right knee and allow the weight of your foot and your leg to take that leg over and stretch the front of your right hip once again. Bring the right leg back to center and then step it forward in between your hands. Your knee is right above your ankle. And then raise your arms and your torso, coming to high lunge on the right side. Hold for a breath here, in through your nose and out through your nose. And then set your hands down to frame your right foot. Step back into downward facing dog. Hold for a deep breath. On your next inhale, raise your left leg all the way up behind you and turn it out from your hip. Bend your left knee and then allow the weight of your whole leg to take it over behind you and stretch the front of your left hip. Bring that leg back to center. Step it forward in between your hands, coming into a high lunge on the left side, lifting your arms up and holding in high lunge, lunging forward into that left leg. Set your hands back down onto the ground and step back into a downward facing dog. Come down onto your belly, bring the forehead to the ground, your hands next to your sides, tops of the hands are on the floor, palms facing up. We'll be moving through 3 half Shalabasanas. Lying on your stomach, take an inhale, lift your head and your shoulders and your arms off the ground. Keep the tops of your feet flat on the floor. Lower down on an exhale. We'll take that once more. Lift your head and your shoulders and your arms reaching back and exhale, lower down. Last time, inhale, lift your head and your shoulders and your arms, arching your back, your feet are on the ground, and exhale, lower down. Bring your left hand underneath your forehead. Bend your right leg and reach around to your right ankle. You're just resting here. You can turn your head to the right, rest on your cheek, and just stretching the quad on the right side. This is just like a standing runner's quad stretch, just you're lying on the ground. Just hold here for one more deep breath. Breathe into the stretch here for your quad. Release your hand from your foot. Bring your right arm underneath your head. Bend your left leg and hold on to your left ankle with your hand. Turn your head, look over to the left, and rest your head on your hand, stretching the quad on the left side this time. Release your foot back down onto the ground, turn back to face the center, and bring your hands down by your sides and bend both of your legs. Take hold of the outer edges of your feet in either hand. And on your next inhale, we'll come into bow pose or Dhanurasana by lifting your head and your shoulders and the tops of your legs off the ground. And then take an exhale, and you can keep your feet in your hands and just come back down slowly and turn onto one cheek. Breathe here for a moment, and then when you're ready, turn your head back to center and take an inhale and come back into another Dhanurasana or bow pose. Lifting your head and your shoulders off the ground, arching your back actively and stretching those quads. And on an exhale, come back down and turn your cheek to the opposite side. Hold for a breath here. Slowly turn back to the center and get ready on an inhale to come up into bow pose one more time. Hold here. Breathe. Really reach the top of that head upwards. And then take an exhale and lower down. Release your hands from your feet. And you can sit back once again into a child's pose, touching your big toes together and sitting onto your heels. Relaxing over, bring your head to the ground, stretch your arms out in front of you. Slowly come up from your child's pose, tuck your toes, press into the ground with your hands and feet, and make your way into downward facing dog. On an inhale, raise your heels and bend your knees. Look forward and step your feet up to meet your hands, coming into a forward fold. Relax your head over. And on your next inhale, come all the way up to standing and reach your arms up. And exhale, release your hands down by your sides. Interlace your hands at the small of your back behind you. Take another inhale and straighten your arms, arching your back and spreading your shoulders and your collarbones wide, looking upward just for a brief chest opener. And then you can release your hands from the clasp and make your way to either the edge of a couch, a bed, or the wall. Either will do. We're going to take a quad stretch called King Charles. I did a whole video explaining this pose. I will link it on the screen and in the description box. But basically what you need to do is come to a wall or the edge of a couch, slide your right shin down the wall or the couch edge behind you, step your left foot forward onto your foot, and then lift up your torso, bringing your hands to your left thigh. This is for King Charles on the right side. You're stretching your right quad here. You have the option of staying upright here, or if it's too intense of a quad stretch, you can bring your hands down onto the ground. And stay here for one more deep breath wherever you've chosen to be in this stretch. And when you're ready, bring your hands back down onto the ground. Turn so that you can step onto your right foot. And then make your way into the other side by sliding your left shin down the couch edge or the wall and coming onto your left knee, stepping your right foot forward and then lifting up your torso if this is possible for you, bringing your hand to your right thigh and stretching the front of your left quad. Stay here for one more breath. And then slowly set your hands down onto the ground. Turn so that you can step onto the left foot. And then come to lying on your back. Bend your knees and hug your shins in towards your chest. And breathe here for a moment. Take your right ankle, cross it over the left top thigh. Take hold behind the left thigh underneath the knee and rest here, hugging both legs in towards your chest. Breathe and stretch the outer edge of your right leg and your hip sockets. Remove your hands from your leg and cross your right leg even further over the left, bringing the right thigh right on top of the left one. Hug your knees in towards your chest and take hold of opposite ankles in your hands. Hold here and stretch the outer edges of your hips on both sides. Uncross your legs, bring your knees back together, and then twist both legs over to the left, reaching your right arm out to the right and looking over that hand, coming into a twist. Unwind from your twist, bring your knees back to the center, and then take your left ankle, cross it over the right top thigh. Take hold behind the right thigh underneath your knee and hug both legs in towards your shoulders, stretching your thighs and your hips here. Release your hands from your leg. Cross your left thigh over the right one, and then hug both knees in towards your chest once more and take hold of your ankles in your hands and rest here and breathe into this stretch. Release your hands from your ankles and uncross your legs. Bring both legs over to the right and reach your left arm out, looking over your left hand, coming into a twist. Hold here and breathe. Bring your legs back to center and stretch them out onto the ground. Relax them completely, separate them slightly apart. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling, your hands are down by your sides. Close your eyes and begin to deepen your breathing. Inhaling through your nose and releasing it out in the same way. Breathe here and allow your breath to relax you deeper and deeper with each exhale. Remain here with this breath pattern and focus on your breathing. Add some slight motion back into your body by gently moving your hands and your feet, your arms and your legs. When you're ready, roll onto your right side. Rest there for a moment with your knees bent and your arm under your head for support. When you feel ready to do so, use your hands to help you and come up to a seated position. cross your shins. Bring your hands to your legs, sit up tall, and close your eyes. Take a deep inhale through your nose and release it out. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.